Rookies, one of the things you need to know about going into this fantasy football season, which starts in just over a month, is which of these rookies are going to be showing up and showing out. This is my list right here. So if that's all you came for, you can pause, screenshot, leave, whatever. But I'm going to explain a couple of these guys, maybe give you a better idea of why some of these guys may be worth a top draft pick or not as we take a look at this. Guys, if you like random tier lists like this, I do absolutely everything, sports, video games, other stuff. Consider subscribing to the channel or let me know in the comment section what you would like to see. Now, to get started here, guys, elite, solid starter. These are going to be guys that can actually start on your fantasy football team. So depending on the situation in your team, I made this list with redraft in mind, meaning like a regular fantasy football team where you're drafting every single year. If you are in a dynasty league, the quality and the value of a lot of these guys will obviously be shooting up. And I'll address that in a little bit. So we are going into this with a regular redraft league, maybe a small keeper league in mind, 10, 12 man. If you're in some kind of 14, 16, 20 man league, some of these guys that I have down here in utility player and sleeper may become more valuable to you. But for the majority of leagues, we're going to be looking at these top two categories here. We're going to be first looking at elite. We have Breece Hall and we have Drake London. Breece Hall, running back out of Iowa State, he landed with the Jets. Now, the Jets are going to have a totally revamped offense with Breece Hall leading the backfield, and Garrett Wilson should be one of the top options at wide receiver. Him coming from Ohio State. Now, so Breece Hall going to be just the bell cow there in New York. They have nobody else, let's face it. And they need to rebuild. That's what they're looking at doing. So expect him to be a big option. Expect him to get the touches there. He has performed before in college, and that he's going to do it again. So he is one guy that if I was going to bet on anybody here, that's the guy. Drake London is the other guy I'd put high stock in, and some people would actually put more stock in Drake London because of where he went. He went to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that is known for having a high firepower offense. And Drake London should be one of the top options in that wide receiver core. So if he's out there from USC catching balls, yeah, you're going to want that on your team. These two guys are going to be your elite options. If you're getting one of these guys, don't even think of it as a rookie. Think of it as a stud player. These two guys down here, Treylon Burks and Garrett Wilson. I already mentioned Wilson going to the Jets. Treylon Burks, Tennessee, doesn't have that many options at wide receiver. That's where he went, right? They do have, let me just make sure. Yeah, Robert Woods. Had to make sure I was getting the right guys. Yeah, so he has Robert Woods, and what else do they have there? I'm not sure what other wide receivers they have there in Tennessee. My point exactly. Treylon Burks should be a great option for them, and he should be a solid starter for you. If you nab him as your third wide receiver, even second, if you're deep at other positions, I think you're looking pretty good. I'm not going to go through the report for all these guys. There are people out there on the internet that know far more than I do that you should look up if you want to know exactly what to expect out of, for example, Zamir White. By the way, I have him back down here in back of the depth just because I don't think he's really going to get the chance this year, but I do think he's an option in the future. And that's the case with some of these guys down here. But before we get there, I just do want to point out, Ken Walker III, he did land in Seattle. He could easily win that starting job in Seattle. It's a little busy there, but if he can win that starting running back job, he is somebody that would catapult up here into a solid starter option. Another guy that I'm eyeing, I didn't put him in sleeper because I think he's well known enough, but Sky Moore, he went to Kansas City. I think he's going to be an awesome option. When you have Pat Mahomes throwing to you, I don't care who you are, I'm in on you. And Sky Moore has the talent to go off there. Some other options, great options here are James Cook and Jameson Williams. I think both of those guys could end up being a utility player for you, maybe a fourth wide receiver or a third running back, depending on your league's composition. Some more sleepers here. Tolbert is one guy I specifically want to point out. Jalen Tolbert here. He went to, just make sure I'm not mixing any guys up because I've been known to do that. He went to Dallas, guys. And this one's super, super interesting because Michael Gallup is not healthy, okay? And Amari Cooper left. So you have CeeDee Lamb there and what, right? So you have CeeDee Lamb and you have Dalton Schultz. So Tolbert is there with the opportunity. So he's going to be one of my sleepers here, as well as these other guys. If you know nothing about rookies, I hope this is helping. Chris Olave is another guy that I'm looking at. A lot of people have him ranked higher. My problem with Olave is that he went to New Orleans, and he could break out as a great option. But if Michael Thomas is back, he's going to be swallowing up receptions there. So this is a guy that I just really want to wait and see on. And that's the case with a lot of these guys down here. Rashad White's in the same situation. Now, if you are in a dynasty league, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, and Matt Corral, these are 3 quarterback options you may want to look at because more than likely, I mean, they could always draft somebody else as well, but Kenny Pickett for the Steelers, Desmond Ridder for the Falcons, and Matt Corral for the Panthers, those are going to be options that they might be the starter sooner than later. The only one with really an option to be the starter right now, I believe, is Matt Corral. So those are more deep league stashes, deep league depth options. If you are in a deep league or in a dynasty league, those could be options for you. Another great guy in a dynasty type league would be Trey McBride. Trey McBride is the #1 tight end in this rookie class. But as you guys can see, he's all the way down in pass for now for me. So in a regular league, I don't think Trey McBride is going to be all that special this year. Could end up eating my words because he is very talented. But Arizona does have Zach Ertz right now. Now, he has an option that Arizona could pass on next year. And if they pass on it, they'd save a lot of money, and they have a stud tight end ready in Trey McBride. So look for him to maybe break out in 2023. Obviously, Ertz could go down this year. Anything could happen, but not putting my money on him breaking out this year, 2022. But if you're in a dynasty, yeah, he's going to be a stud down the line. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, not going through all these guys exactly. Take a screenshot, look some guys up. If you're in a deeper league, if you're in a league, need more options. Hopefully you're a little bit better prepared when that draft rolls up and you see a name that you have not seen before. You see a picture that doesn't actually have the image of the guy. Hopefully you have a little more information now and are prepared for your fantasy draft. With all that said, guys, I appreciate you watching. Let me know how I did in the comments, and have a great day.